Welcome back. As the high waters move downstream in Louisiana, there are worries today about new flooding in the southern part of the state. The flooding is blamed for 9 deaths so far in Louisiana. The water is receding now in some areas, but it's still impossible to go anywhere since most of the roads are still impassable. East of Baton Rouge, some residents brave the dangers to check on their flooded homes.
Wondering what's left, if anything. Everything that I had is gone. Everything. Everything.
It's like the end of your life, end of your world, you know, having to start over like that. We worked so hard for it.
To the south of there, it's a race against time. People filling sandbags along bloated rivers and creeks, bracing for the deluge as the water works its way toward them.
As hurricane season nears its peak, flooding is a risk on the Suncoast. But just as waters have the potential to rise, so do flood insurance rates. ABC 7's Kate Flexter has details on which homeowners could be affected.
Even on a good day without much rain, water lines Brookmead Drive. And for those who've lived there for a long time, each time it rains, they start to worry.
I think about every time it rains. When we have these bad storms, I think about 1992.
The 1992 flood Ronnie Miller's talking about left his home and his neighbors' homes under several feet of water.
You couldn't see the top of the mailbox. If I walked from my driveway, from my house, out to the street, it'd be over top of my head.
After that flood, insurance rates went up in the neighborhood, and many people sold their homes and moved on. Now insurance rates will be going up yet again, this time on a statewide level. The rate hikes could be anywhere from 9 to 20%. And Miller says a lot of people won't be able to afford it.
How are you going to pay it? There's no way. Those have to pack up and move.
It's all an effort to stabilize the National Flood Insurance Program. After Hurricane Katrina and Superstorm Sandy, the program is climbing out of a $23 billion deficit.
It's just like anything with insurance. When there's catastrophic loss, they take it as a whole for the country, so they start raising rates. They put in for rate increases, they get approved, and then everybody gets hit with the rate increase.
Insurance agent Sharon Cirillo says just like floodwaters, she's seen the rates rise and fall over the years. In 2013, the rates spiked, but people weren't able to afford them.
That lasted probably about a year or two before people started complaining that people couldn't afford the flood insurance rates.
That's when Congress passed an act to keep flood insurance rates low. But that was only temporary, and now rates are rising again, leaving people like Miller unsure what's in store.
What can we do? There's not much we can do.
That was ABC 7's Kate Flexter reporting. This isn't going to be a sudden increase. Instead, homeowners are going to see those rates go up year by year, which in the end could amount to quite an increase.
And a major increase could be on the way for workers' compensation insurance rates in Florida. State regulators heard hours of testimony today on increasing rates by 19.6%. The proposal stems from a ruling by the Florida Supreme Court back in January. The court finding limits on attorneys' fees in workers' comp cases unconstitutional. Businesses criticized the ruling, arguing it will lead to more litigation and higher insurance costs. Attorneys say the threat to raise rates is a scare tactic by the insurance industry.
Courts have directed the legislature to act, to make it more fair, to put things back into balance. This is a move today by the insurance companies to keep it out of balance as much as they can.
If a rate increase is approved, it would take effect in October. Lawmakers are expected to take up changes to the state's workers' compensation system in its 2017 session.
Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say they arrested 3 people after finding a stash of illegal drugs in a vehicle. During an investigation, detectives learned that Sean Scott, Jason Szymanski, and Carrie Huber were staying at a hotel on Clark Road. On Friday, deputies pulled the trio over. They say inside their car they found cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin, and marijuana. All 3 face drug possession charges. Sarasota police are warning Pokemon Go players to keep an eye on their surroundings. A woman was robbed while playing this virtual game near the Bayfront last night. Police say the woman was looking at her phone near Marina Jack trying to find the characters when a man came up behind her and grabbed her purse. The man knocked the woman down and ran off. Canine officers could not locate him, but they found the woman's purse and her wallet was gone. Police remind Pokemon Go players to be very aware of what's around them. Play in groups or pairs. Do not trespass onto private property. Do not drive, ride a bike, or skateboard while playing Pokemon Go.
The Baltimore Orioles are teaching some young players the ins and outs of the game. Today, dozens of kids from the organization Girls Inc. came out to Ed Smith Stadium to get lessons on pitching, fielding, and base running from the minor league players. The girls were then treated to lunch at the Orioles clubhouse. Vice President of the Orioles in Sarasota says the clinic helps establish community ties and can also be an inspiration to kids who have an interest in the sport.
The thing about this is that I get to play with my favorite team.
We're so thankful that we were able to bring every single girl from Girls Inc. out here to introduce them to baseball if they've never played it before, or to get them excited about the sport that they already have loved.
Touch the base.
Looks like a fun day. Every year, the Orioles host 8 to 12 of these clinics.
Good job.
What a
They
neat
do look like
thrill to play on a field that is as manicured and looks as good as that.
It is such a beautiful field and stadium.
And then to get the pros to show them the way to do it, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Way to go. Well, now we're going to get a check on our forecast. As we saw in that video, it looked pretty nice, but we always get those afternoon storms, Bob.
Yeah, do it a little earlier, right, than they did there. It looked like a great day, and looks like a pretty nice afternoon for the most part, starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Punta Gorda webcam, and then you'll start to see those showers moving across the Peace River there, and now the lens covered with rain as a result of this storm that you see right now kind of converging over Charlotte Harbor and near Northport, Punta Gorda, and Port Charlotte, now getting the heaviest rainfall by far. This storm system heading off to the west-northwest, some of the areas that will have an impact at 616 Englewood. This should be near you if it holds together, and I think it will. Placida at around 550. And then some storms well inland near Sebring, a few showers there, but all in all, fairly quiet this afternoon across the Suncoast. We have one lone shower near Venice that is now gone. So again, with no sea breeze convergence set up, there's not enough lift to create and maintain these storms. We'll have much more in our weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. A big legal win today for Florida's largest private school voucher program. Today, the First District Court of Appeals sided with a lower judge's decision to throw out the lawsuit filed by the Florida Education Association and others. Union officials have maintained the program is unconstitutional, but the appeals court ruled that those who sued have not shown how it harms public schools. The $419 million program currently serves low-income families, but the program is expanding to middle-income families this fall. This past school year, nearly 79,000 children received vouchers.
Thousands of hunters in Florida are now on the prowl for alligators. Hunting season started last night and runs until November 1st. Around 6,000 hunters received permits to kill up to 2 gators each. Hunters typically use harpoons, spear guns, fishing rods, or crossbows to control the gators and then kill them with a knife. There are approximately 1.3 million alligators in Florida's swamps, lakes, and freshwater ways. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a major blow to Obamacare. Find out why a major provider is pulling out of exchanges and how it could affect your coverage.
Plus, how much time do you spend sitting each day? Probably too much. Well, a new study says it could have some consequences for your heart health. That's next in Health News.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Batteries Plus bulbs keep stacks of batteries for cars, cell phones, watches, plus light bulbs for lamps, can lights, and appliances right on hand. Did I mention we also repair smartphones? Batteries Plus bulbs. Trust the plus. Visit Batteries Plus bulbs today.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Discover the new Buick and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on select 2016 Buick vehicles. That's nearly $8,000 cash back on this Buick LaCrosse.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-4994.
And see how we can help. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
Some people with health insurance under Obamacare will lose their plans next year. Aetna, the nation's third largest health insurer, is pulling out of the health exchanges set up by the Affordable Care Act in 11 of the 15 states where it currently operates. The company reports it lost $430 million in its individual health care policies since the exchanges opened in January of 2014. Aetna will now only sell Obamacare products in Delaware, Iowa, Nebraska, and Virginia.
Sitting too long can be bad for your health, even if you are healthy and you work out. That's according to a study just out from the American Heart Association. ABC7's Alex Redman is here with the details. Alex.
That's right, Haley. And what you are about to learn may compel you to stand up right now and march in place, because research finds even the most active people are at risk of certain ailments if they sit for prolonged periods of time. We know exercise is good for us, and a good night's sleep offers health benefits, but something we do way too much could potentially kill us.
More and more studies are showing that as you are sitting, you cause buildup of calcium in the blood vessels of the heart.
It can cause the insulin of the body to become more resistant,
increasing the risk of diabetes.
Think about every time you get in the car, whether you're a passenger or the driver. All of those minutes add up, and they greatly take a toll on your health.
Sitting in front of a computer, playing a video game, just watching TV, those are what we call sedentary activity.
Research finds U.S. adults are sedentary between 6 to 8 hours a day.
Mostly for younger people, it's at work where they're sitting with a computer and texting.
And adults 60 years and older spend up to 9.5 hours daily in sedentary time.
We're probably sitting watching TV or in front of the computer, but if that is the case, it'd be wise to get a pet. That way you need to take them out and gives you the chance to exercise.
But there's a hitch.
Just because you exercise, you cannot undo the ill effect of simply sitting for hours and hours.
And if you need a little inspiration to toss your sedentary lifestyle,
I can't see much anymore. I'm legally blind in both eyes already.
Meet 97-year-old Wally Swiderski.
So you have to keep moving a little bit, as much as possible.
And she does.
I have to walk everywhere.
Researchers aren't able to pinpoint exactly how sedentary people are, and there's not enough evidence yet to show the amount or the frequency that you need to exercise to counteract the effects of sitting. But the study does suggest that people should try to sit less and move more.
And Alex, who's most at risk and what can they do about it?
Sad part about that, Haley, people like you and me, people that work in the newsroom, office buildings, are at great risk because we sit all the time. But what you can do about it is you can park the car further away and you can walk from the car, walk into the grocery store, walk to your office, but park the furthest away and get up. We see Scott Dennis get up here all the time, and he even says he walks laps around the building. Kudos to him.
Great
you have
idea.
to do it.
Thank you, Alex. Now we'll head over to Bob and get a check on our forecast.
I get to walk from my weather area all the way over here to the chroma key wall each and every day, several times during the newscast, so that helps me out as well. Punta Gorda webcam showing pretty nice afternoon with showers moving through the Peace River there. We can see the bridge for US 41 getting some rainfall, and then all of a sudden the camera gets full of drops there as a result of some heavy rainfall, which is now starting to clear Punta Gorda. Barb Wilson, who is a longtime viewer of ABC7, snapping this photo and sending it in to pics@mysuncoast.com with some gathering storm clouds around town. High pressure, though, still off the Carolina coast, and it's a rather strong area of high pressure. It's providing us with a strong east wind, and that east wind, as I said yesterday, is not allowing that sea breeze to set up here along the west coast of Florida. And that typically holds the storms back and allows them to grow and intensify and then eventually produce heavy rainfall as they slowly break down the sea breeze and head off to the Gulf of Mexico. That hasn't happened over the past couple of days, and that's a result of the stronger east winds. They just keep going out there in the Gulf. So they're not sticking around very long. They're moving through rather quickly. They keep redeveloping, though, into the central part of the state and then pushing off to the west. So we're starting to see repeated storms moving through South Sarasota and into Charlotte counties. We had one about 3:30, 4 o'clock move through, and now another one developing, and even one behind that. The strongest cell by far is near Port Charlotte and also just south of Northport. This one headed off toward Inglewood right now, and looks like the places like Punta Gorda, actually Beach, we'll see some rainfall, Woodmere, and that'd be the time right there, Punta Gorda Beach right around 6:08. And some heavier showers moving into Northport. Now down the street level we go, US 41 just south of El Jobim. El Jobim, in fact, getting some very heavy rainfall right now, but elsewhere pretty quiet. From Venice northward up to Lakewood Ranch, Palmetto, Bradenton. We had some showers earlier in Bradenton, and it looks like we'll see similar conditions tomorrow. The sea breeze has a little bit better chance to develop tomorrow because of this high pressure system kind of weakening somewhat in this area of low pressure, which is still bringing some rainfall to Louisiana. Will eventually weaken somewhat. 90 degrees right now at the airport. It's dew point 74. High today, nearing record-breaking highs again today. 97 degrees, 2 degrees shy of the record. You can just feel that heat today. That was set back in 1995 when it got up to 99. This morning's low was at 79. No rainfall to report, and it's been relatively wet inland areas throughout the month thus far. 75 in Orlando, 86 in Miami, and that frontal boundary stationary now across Arkansas and Louisiana, where they don't need any more rain because all that, even over the northern part of the state, washes down some of the rivers and streams there and causes some problems with flooding. As far as the water vapor content goes, still rather moist here, and this system has a 90% chance developing into the next tropical cyclone. And it looks like even if it were to develop, most of the forecast models suggest that it will move off toward the open waters of the Atlantic, just where we like to see it go. And there's one behind it, too, that's rather strong that may also develop. For boaters, it looks like this. Winds out of the southeast, turning to the west at 10 knots. Seas will be 2 feet. And a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now at 87 degrees. Tides upcoming on your screen. Low tide will be at 7:31 and sunset at 8:06. Tonight, a few evening storms, 77, partly cloudy and warm. Tomorrow, 50% chance for some scattered storms in the afternoon, a high near 91, and southeasterly winds at 5 to 10. The extended forecast calling for less of a chance as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No accidents right now, but Bee Ridge Road near US 41 in Sarasota is backed up at this hour.
In the near future, some drivers won't have to worry so much about traffic lights turning red. Audi has plans to start rolling out cars that electronically communicate with traffic signals. The car's instrument panel will display a red traffic light, and then it will count down until it turns green. Audi plans to unveil models with the new technology on its showroom floor later this year. The auto industry hopes these types of cars will help make travel safer. I love this idea.
Yeah, because there's so many times that you're sitting there at a red light at midnight and there's no one else on the road, and you want, I keep
crickets. Yeah.
Yes, and I keep trying to like back up and trigger the signal, but this would be great.
Yeah, hope it works. Entertainment news is next.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good.
Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Shark Swim Team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, visit sarasotayMCA.org/sharks.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
August 26th, it's game on. Tune in weekly for highlights and scores from the top high school games happening along the Suncoast. Football Friday night, sponsored by your local Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
It really is sad for the whole community to see it just sit there and not be utilized.
Demolition begins on the Colony Resort on Longboat Key. The developer has control of the commercial buildings, but will the condo owners reach an agreement with the company? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story, plus our roundtable discussion.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Amber Heard has settled her divorce case with Oscar-nominated actor Johnny Depp.
Heard is also withdrawing allegations that Depp physically abused her. Heard's lawyers are filing a dismissal of her temporary restraining order against Depp. Heard filed for divorce in May. Days later, she accused him of hitting her during a fight in their Los Angeles apartment. Depp denied he abused her, and police said they found no evidence of a crime.
Fictional spy Jack Ryan is getting a new reincarnation. John Krasinski will join the ranks of Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Ben Affleck, and others in playing the star of several Tom Clancy novels. He'll play Ryan in a 10-episode series about the CIA hero and dangerous field assignments dealing with terrorism. Krasinski, best known for his role on the TV comedy series The Office. The series has just been green-lighted and will stream on Amazon.
Bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang. We love you and pretty chitty bang.
A musical delight at a Denny's in Santa Monica, California. Dick Van Dyke treated diners to a rendition of the song Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The 90-year-old actor and 3 other members of his quartet, the Fantastics, had just finished an appearance on a local TV show. Afterward, they grabbed some breakfast where they started singing the theme song to the 1968 British musical, which starred Van Dyke.
He's 90 years old.
He's 90 and he looks amazing, and he
does.
Still sings great and performs well. And what I thought was also interesting is the 3 other members of this quartet, they're much younger than him. But they seem to be enjoying their group. Yes, they do. Very cool. We'll be right back.